Hello and welcome to Commoner's Craft. In this episode I'm going to show you how to make dwarven pillars for your tabletop games, completely from cardboard. A very useful piece of scatter terrain for all your dwarven setups. So without further ado, let's start crafting. After trying out different things, this is the design that I ended up with. Not too much work and enough detail to sell the dwarven look. I made templates for all of the different parts to make cutting out a bunch of them a lot easier. Here are the templates if you'd like to copy my design and make your own. I start by taking a pillar base piece and scoring some lines with a knife where I'm going to fold it. And when I have a workable piece, I attach the flaps to each other with some paper tape. This is just to hold it in place for now, it will be glued later. To make sure all the corners hold well, I add some glue to the sides and spread it out with my finger. The base is then glued to some cardboard to give it more height. This part is not on the template, but it's just made by gluing two 5 cm single corrugated cardboard squares to each other. Now I'm going to make the top pillar, so take two pieces of part A and part B. I use some paper tape on part B. This makes assembly a lot easier and it also hides the corrugation of the cardboard as well. These will probably not be perfectly straight and square, but it's definitely good enough, especially when you're looking at it at the table. Next I'm going to start decorating the base of the pillar, so take 4 pieces of part A and part B and attach them to all of the sides. First part A, which is bigger, and then part B, which is a little smaller. This will really help sell the dwarven geometric look. I'm going to do the same for the top of the pillar, so part A and part B of the top pillar decoration. Again, first part A, which is a bigger piece, and then part B, which is a little smaller. For the next step, I'm going to start covering the corrugation on the base of the pillar. These parts are not on a template, but they are just 5 cm strips of cardstock cut to the thickness of the cardboard base. While that is drying, I'm going to attach the top of the pillar. This is another piece that's not on the template. It's two 4 cm squares of single corrugated cardboard glued together. To cover the gaps in the base, I'm gluing leftover cardstock cut too large over the gap. When it's dry, I'm going to cut and trim these with scissors. I tried incorporating the triangles in the original piece, but it was a pain to glue together and it sometimes didn't fit right, so doing it like this was easier for me. So while that is drying, the top should be dry and you can cover the corrugation here as well, using the same technique as the base, just with smaller strips. Here I'm trimming the base. Just make sure to only do this when it's completely dry, otherwise it might break off and you'll have to do the same work again. And lastly, simply glue the top of the pillar to the base and the construction is all done. As a first painting step, I'm covering the entire piece in a mixture of black paint and glue. This will give me a good base color to work off and also strengthen the piece. And when that first coat is dry, I give it another coat of just black paint to get good coverage. After that, I'm giving the entire piece a heavy dry brush of a dark grey. I got this color by mixing in some white into the black paint. I used a makeup brush for this. It gives really good results and it speeds up the process a lot. And to finish off the piece, I'm going to dry brush a very light grey on all the edges to make them really pop. I know this is a very simple paint job, but I didn't want them to look old and decrepit, more like Casa Doom in its prime. Doing it like this gives me the results I'm looking for. And there we go, the pillars are all done. I set out to build this classic piece of terrain using just cardboard, and I think it came out quite nice. So for basically no material cost at all, you could build these in a day and have some very usable scatter terrain for your dwarven setups. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, make sure to subscribe. Until next time, take care.